Good day, everyone. Today we will be making a basic circuit. And the circuit includes having a few items, and some of these are necessary in order to power our circuit. So, what a circuit generally is, it's a starting point where power comes in and power goes out. In between, we can have some different items. You can have a switch that regulates the power, saying when the power can go through and when it cannot. You can have a resistor which will say how much power can go through. But we will be doing a simple circuit today. And this just involves a battery or cell which has a positive and a negative end. And this will be going into a switch which also has a positive and a negative side. And this is then carrying out to a light. And when we connect the negative and the positive of the battery to the switch, this means that when the switch is closed, power will flow, and when the switch is open, power will not flow. Alright? And that's why what you will see here is the negative end of the cell is going to be connected directly to the circuit, whereas the positive runs through the switch and into the circuit. So that we have two different wires running. Like I said, one positive, one negative, and same goes over here from the battery. We have two running, one into the switch and one straight into the wire, and that is put into our light over there. So we'll need some basic tools. Alright. So one of the most important that you need is a wire stripper, because circuits rely on a conductor of electricity, and a good conductor is copper wire. So these you can find at your local hardware store or electronics store, and they mostly come in the wires that you find on your plugs, on your electronic devices and so forth. We will also need a battery or cell. This is a fantastic lithium ion battery that I have, and it actually comes out of our light supply today, which is one of these wall sensor solar lights. I took out the original switch. As you will see, it's a little bit too small for our use today. So we will be using a little switch I found of a lamp, and it's got a much more tactile button. Alright, so what we're going to be also needing is some insulation tape. And this is a non-conductive adhesive, and it's basically what you can use to put around your open wires so that you do not accidentally draw current or shock at those points. And then I was going to screw down our light and our switch and so forth, but since this is just a temporary circuit, I'm going to be using some plastic to stick down the items such as the cell, the switch, and so forth. Alright, give me a second to get set up and we'll start setting up this circuit. Okay, great. Welcome back. So what we're doing now is we're quickly going to connect up our battery over here to our switch. Alright, and we want to go positive and positive and negative and negative. So in the case of the colors of these wires, we have blue, that is our positive, and brown, which is our negative. And on the cell we have similar colors where red is our positive and black is our negative. So if you come a little bit closer, you will see all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be turning the copper wires around each other so that they become connected, and I'm just twisting them, and when I'm done I'm going to ball them up and take a small piece of insulation tape and just close them up so that wires can't touch each other and short circuit. And now I'll do the same with the other side. Just twisting the wires around each other balling it up nicely so that the wires make contact. And careful, these wires can be sharp, so they can prick your fingers. And we're covering it up here as well. Okay, like I said, we were busy sticking the feet down for the switch and the cell, and I've just made these little balls of press stick as well that we can use to tie down any other pieces to our board. So some things that we can do is tie down our wires. Simply just push a piece of press stick underneath it and stick the wire to it. That way it won't go anywhere. But before we stick the entire wire down, we want to check that our circuit actually works. And all we have to do is just touch these two wires. Now remember, our red is our positive and black is our negative, and on our switch wiring, brown is negative, blue is positive. Alright, so we can simply just touch these wires, but nothing is happening. That's because our switch is not allowing the power to flow. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our switch on. We'll open it up for current in a closed state, and we're going to touch, and we can see that there's continuity between the circuit, meaning the light switch goes on. So now again, we're going to get 2 pieces of insulation tape ready, and then we're again going to combine our copper wires. Make sure your switch is off at this point so that you don't have the light flickering every time you're making continuity or making contact. Again, twist the wires around, pull it up, close it up with insulation tape. And then we're going to take some more of this press stick and we're going to tie our wire down neatly. And we can do the same with our light switch. Little piece of press stick, stick it down, it's not going to go anywhere, as well as these wires over here. Now comes the moment of truth where we can test our switch and we can see our light goes on. And if we want to label, this is our cell or battery, this is our switch, this is our wire over here, that's our negative, that's our positive. That's our negative, that's our positive. Like I said, turn on the switch, on goes the light. And that's our simple circuit having a cell, switch and light. Thank you.